Hello everyone, it's Baldy Chris. I'm trying to add audio to a video that I made a couple of months ago. I was having a good rainbow run on Enter The Gungeon. I wanted to show it to a friend, and for some reason the video didn't send, so I'm just going to try and talk you through it now. Let's jump straight in. I think we're on the latter stages of the 4th floor at this point. As I say, it's a rainbow run. I've picked up a few good items. It looks like I'm playing as the Paradox, which I don't normally do. He's got the makeshift cannon, which is a brilliant weapon. It will annihilate pretty much anything in its path, including bosses, but unfortunately you only get to shoot that once. What I've done is I've also picked up some duct tape, which is a very useful item in that it lets you combine two guns together, and it will combine both the shots that they fire and also the ammo capacity as well. And I think I've also got the Ancient Heroes bandana on this one as well, which serves to quadruple ammo capacity on everything, including these Franken weapons that you put together using the duct tape. So as a result, I've got a sort of a 1600 shot magazine on the makeshift cannon, which is very nice setup indeed. It doesn't stop you getting hit, but it does make sure that your shots are very powerful indeed. So it's a good way to to progress through the game, is to get lucky and tie a few items together. You do have to be a bit careful with the duct tape because it matters which order you take the two weapons together in, and I constantly forget which one it is, so I would suggest you look that up in the Wikipedia. I think it's the first gun that you select is consumed, and then the second one is becomes the sort of master weapon of the two. I've obviously done it the right way round here because you can certainly see it's firing out the makeshift cannon rounds. Not straight away, it does take a little while to charge up those shots. So it's been making short work of everything so far. This is a room with one of the little guys that will generate skeletons. They're very annoying. And so one drawback to the makeshift cannon is that it needs a wide open space to use it. It is certainly best for boss fights, so a room like that isn't ideal because the actual scenery in the room will block it. Now, I've obviously picked up a map at some point on this one to be able to see rooms I've not yet visited, so I think I'm clearing the place out. I think I'm hesitant in a few places on this. Like I said, it's a few months ago. If memory serves, I think what I was doing was ordinarily I'd go to every floor possible on a rainbow run because you get the rainbow chest at the start of each run, and wanting to get more good things. But the problem with going to the secret floor on the 4th floor is that you have to spend one of your master rounds to do it, and I think this was the first time I'd had the opportunity to get a genuine lead god. I'd already picked up the trophy courtesy of another rainbow run and using the clone. So the lead god, the intention is that you get the master round for floors 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 all in one game, which is very hard to do. You need to be a pretty good player to do that, or you can be like me, be a competent player and get lucky on a rainbow run, pick up the clone item, which offers you a chance to resurrect and repeat some floors of the game, thus giving you a chance to repeat some of the lower level bosses, which are easier to get flawlesses on. So I think I got 5 master rounds, but rather than being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it was 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So pretty much only just got it by the skin of my teeth really on that round, because I don't think I've got any more thereafter. But it was enough to get the trophy. But I think this was the first time I was actually going to legitimately get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I had gone to the 4th secret floor, I'd have had to give up one of those master rounds and therefore wouldn't have got it. And I just wanted to see it in my little Ammonomicon for the run, to see it looking pretty with all 5 of the master rounds there, giving the impression that I'm a wonderful player when in reality I'm a sort of capable player that happened to get a very lucky run and extremely powerful weaponry. So yeah, if you see hesitation, it's me debating whether or not to go to that RNG secret floor, which in the end I don't think I do. So there, I think I must have cleared out most of the fourth floor itself by now. Looks like it is just the boss fight left, and you can tell by the shape of the room, very long thin room, that it's going to be the Wallmonger. So going to give him a bit of a pasting with this makeshift cannon. I think it's been combined with the bullet. I ordinarily don't like the bullet as a weapon. It's fun, but it's difficult to use because it creates a lot of stuff going on screen, makes it hard to see what you're doing, and doesn't necessarily target enemies especially well. It's just this bit of a random scattershot approach. So there's me getting the master round for fourth floor. It's made very short work of that Wallmonger, but the makeshift cannon is expressly designed to do that. The fact that you can duct tape it if you get lucky enough to get those two items in one run is just a nice little accent. Getting the Ancient Heroes bandana is always good as well, because it pretty much means you can't run out of ammo on a fairly standard weapon, because 4 times as much is a very generous sum, and you're likely to get room drops topping it up every so often. The makeshift cannon on its own would ordinarily only expand out to an ammo capacity of 4, so you can definitely run out on that, but it gives you a very, very strong chance against 4 bosses if you manage to do that. I don't think the makers of the game were expecting you to be able to bring its capacity up as high as 1600, which does frankly make a bit of a mockery of the game. There we are, you can see Master Rounds 1, 2, 3 and 4 there. I've also got the suite in there, which reduces, I can't remember if it reduces enemy strength or increases my strength. It does improve stats one way or the other. It might even do both, I'm not 100% sure. But with that weapon setup, I didn't really need the extra perk of the improved stats. So I think that's the cell creep room is just below the shop there, and that's how you would enter the 4th floor secret rooms. I think this is one of my little hesitant points of trying to work out whether I should do it or not. Like I say, ordinarily I'd make a point of doing it, because particularly with a weapon setup like this, the RNG floor becomes pretty trivial. Really the only challenging part of RNG is the boss itself, which is a fairly tough fight, but going in with a big ass weapon like this, it'll be demolished in seconds, and clearing out the individual rooms isn't terribly hard, especially if you've got something mega powerful like the setup I've got here, or the big shooty gun is just brilliant. Sort of one shot, clear the entire room, and unless there's a second wave, I think there's only a couple of rooms in there that do have a second wave. So yeah, I was very much going against habit by not visiting RNG on a rainbow run. So here we are onto the 5th floor. What do we get in the rainbow chest this time round? Am I going to really pick Gundromeda Strain and give a further damage down to all the enemies? Or the platinum bullets? No, I've gone for Gundromeda Strain. That was thoroughly unnecessary considering the setup, but in case my weapon wasn't overpowered enough, let's add an extra strength nerfing, is that the right word, for the enemies that are in there. How are those bulletkins surviving a makeshift cannon onslaught? Well, for some reason that's not actually firing out the mega tasty rounds. Ammo refill, always helpful, particularly if you've got a powerful weapon with usually poor ammo efficiency. Getting the ammo top ups is always what you want, so you can keep using the high powered weapon. Those little conjurers that throw things back at you, they really did not stand a chance. That's definitely the way to deal with them in almost every circumstance, is try and hit them quick enough that they can't start throwing your own weapons back at you, or your own projectiles back at you. Certainly with very strong projectiles, there's just no hope of them being able to do it. Can't believe it. Did I take a hit there? Certainly got cornered by the dynamite, and I don't like those moving blocks at all. They seem to do a very good job of trapping me and hitting me repeatedly, and you can't kill them. To the best of my knowledge, you can't kill them. They just stop moving when everything else in the room is dead, but it sends you into a bit of a panic, or it sends me into a bit of a panic at any rate. We've got the little Grim Reaper dude in this room who, again, you can't kill. You can freeze him or cheese him if you've got the rat gun, which makes him much less of a threat. But again, he's one that stays until the rest of the enemies in the room are dead. So, yet again, best practice is kill everything as fast as you can to stop him getting any shots off, because otherwise makes the room that little bit harder to find safe spots in when the Grim Reaper's filled it with projectiles of his own. You get some instances where he just pops up at the end of a room. He's a sort of wave all by himself, so you clear out wave 1, then he pops up as wave 2, and because there's no other enemies he just immediately vanishes again as well, which is my favourite way of seeing him, because he can be a little bit of a pain other times. Again, the big rounds coming out of the makeshift cannon there, not ideally suited to rooms that aren't open. That little purple light indicates a safe room of some kind, so that's Trork, who sells the military surplus stuff, but obviously in rainbow mode he doesn't sell anything at all. But still, it's nice to have a room that definitely doesn't pose a threat to you. Those skeletons, of course, you've got to kill the skull to make them fully dead, otherwise they regenerate as well, and I think they're invulnerable when they're firing the lasers out, so they're a pretty obnoxious enemy, really. Yeah, again, the constricted space in this room is not really letting the powerful weapon show its full potential, but I mean, it gets the job done, and ammo conservation was definitely not really an issue for me. So that's found the dragon. I presume I leave him till later. That's my usual practice, is leave the boss fights till the end of the floor. Sometimes if I'm feeling very confident, got a good setup going, I just go in there and get it straight done, which I've done on this occasion by the look of things. So there he is. He's not going to last long at all. Did a blank there just to make absolutely sure I wasn't going to get hit. And this was really the only real danger part of this level, because it's going to clear the bulk of the fight very quickly with the makeshift cannon, but you still got to go through this bullet curtain bit, and it's quite easy to make a misstep and get hit along the way. It's quite easy to get it right, but it's also quite easy to make a silly mistake as well. So then when the heart's exposed, obviously with a weapon like that, it was gone very, very quickly as a one cycle. The worst I've had is 5 cycles using a starter pistol. That wasn't much fun. So there we are. Anyway, thanks for watching. Ta-ra!